Hi. Hello. Me again. And I realize there's a glare in my glasses, but I need them to hide the dark circles under my eyes. But yeah, so today, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Also, yeah, this isn't my actual hair. That's a thing, because I realized from this angle it just looks like my hair. I was about to say my hair is going crazy, but it sort of always is. Anyways, yes, we're back also with a mic, which I can't really show you because I can't move. I'm afraid it won't balance right because it's currently on my mattress, because I give that much of a shit about what I'm doing. But yes, to move on. Today I was gonna do change things up because I don't know where this channel is going. Mainly, could you stop doing that with the lighting? I need to figure out my lighting, okay? I'm pale, and it's like either I look like I'm in a really dark area or I just look like the color of the wall behind me with a lot of extra red because of acne, which thankfully the camera's not good enough to see, and I'm not going to set up the camera that's good enough to see. We're working on the camera and lighting. At least we've got the microphone now. Oh, I just realized the microphone shows. Ta-da! Anyways, so I had actually done a lot of research on a true crime case because I decided that this channel, I want it to be mostly about autism, but because I'm a psych major, okay, the lighting's just going to go off and on, but because I'm a psych major, I really decided that I wanted to also explore the psychology of a lot of different things. I want to include things about autism specifically, and I'll definitely keep up the autistic story times. Please, guys, let me know if you like it. I'd really like to know, your opinions, and I appreciate the comments, and I had a discussion the last one with someone, and I was going to say their name, but I realized I had no idea how to say their name. So, to the person that commented to me the most that I put a little heart, I don't know what to do, but I hearted it. Oh, my screen always does that. Anyways, yeah, I did the little heart thing for her, and I kept responding to you. Thank you so much. It'll show up in the comments what it is, because there are not many people to talk to, but, shout out to the person that I cannot pronounce their name, even though I don't know if a shout out would do much. But yeah, so I work pretty hard on these videos. Please do, I don't know, share whatever the fuck you're supposed to do. But anyways, because I want to spread a message. But anyways, yeah, my ADHD meds wore off, so this is what we're working with. Also, I'm very mad because I recorded an entire video, and this is the third time I'm trying to record a video, because I was going to record one the day after I had recorded the last one, but then I tried and it was 17 minutes, and it was we can't upload to YouTube because it's over 15, and I was so upset because, as we know, my editing is shit, and there's pretty much no reason for me to do it. So today I decided that I'm going to switch things up a bit, and this may take two things, because I want to tell the story of a true crime thing, but also analyze things from a psychological perspective. I am by no means professional in any way. I just realized I don't need this, but I am by no means a professional. I'm almost finished with my associates, but I do have fair amount of experience with psychology, but mostly I want to start up a discussion on whatever you guys think, so do comment, because it's really interesting for me to go back and forth with you guys. And I realized that I liked that from the last one that I did about Onion's son, because it was an interesting thing to discuss about how he's more, as in the comments it shows, more towards the narcissistic than the sociopath, which I appreciate very much for the person I talked to for recognizing that, because to me, it irks me, but it doesn't really generally bother me how people throw out that word. But I'm not going to be one of those people that's censoring things. It's just I wish more people understood what it genuinely means, but what can you do? It's pretty much kind of like the message I'm trying to spread about autism. Just realized I've been rambling for actually 4 minutes now. So, moving on. For the next two ones, let me know which one you want, about the story that Uber thought that I was a prostitute, or the story of today of my first time post-meeting. Let me guys know which one of those you want. Let's start with the true crime, and I'm going to have to be using my notes. So, this is my notebook. It's actually my personal notebook, but I just grabbed whatever I could because I heard this case. There's actually another case also that I want to talk about. Let me know if you guys like this. But we're going to start with the story, and I'm going to try to pronounce these words. I'm a little bit able to pronounce some of the letters, but it's still hard. So this is the story about a girl named Elizabeth. Elizabeth, I think is how they pronounce it there, because it occurred in August in 1984 in a town that's not too large. It's a pretty small town in a city in Austria called Amstetten. and Elizabeth was locked in a basement for 24 years. Hence the point where I wanted to analyze things, because the amount of strength of character that must have taken to go through that is beyond anything I could imagine, and I commend her beyond anything that I could ever say in words. So that's why I want to give preface of saying I'm trying to do this as respectfully as possible. If I make dark joke, I'm not going to joke about it, but I mean, if I laugh at inappropriate time, I'm just bad at this. But yeah, so she was abducted. I put quotation marks because in my mind abducted is like taken to another place, but that's not really it. She was. And her own father abducted her, kidnapped, and locked her in a basement. That was where she was held for 24 years. And continuously sexually assaulted her, including having children. And I actually found out this information from a YouTuber called Danielle, the beginning of it, and then I looked up a documentary that was on the channel Real Stories. I've done my best with the research. I can't claim that if I'm inaccurate in anything, please let me know, but I've done my best. And I wrote in questions, who could actually do this and live with themselves? Very good question. Why the fuck did he decide this was a good idea? That's one of my main questions, is because whatever someone wants to justify for the perpetrator, there is no justification. There's only something you can analyze and find maybe a basis, but there is no definitive answer of why. And what they say you can never really trust, because originally they don't want to be arrested for it. They don't want to be convicted of it. So it's kind of hard to trust anything anyone says. That's the interesting part. But moving on. So what happened was she was abducted, and the reason she was abducted and taken into a basement. This basement, interestingly enough, was something that people didn't originally think was weird that he was making, because he was already a contractor. But he built this basement to the point where it was essentially an atomic bomb shelter. At the time, that wasn't even something that was odd for someone to be working on a basement for so much time, because it was like at the end of the Cold War. So it kind of, to people, just seemed, okay, you want a shelter, just in case. And so he one time, basically took her down there. I found two different things, where it was one where like he tricked her to help her to go down. Another one was that he forced her to go down. Either way, he was forcing her, but I know that both of them, or from my research, she was, as I know, was taken, and then he used chloroform to knock her out, and when she woke up, she was handcuffed, and I can't imagine how terrifying that would be. So at this point, the police began an investigation because she had disappeared. The problem was, previously she had disappeared as well, and she ended up having been a runaway with her friend. So of course, a lot of the time people just assume that things are runaways, or that people are runaways, especially when they're someone that has a history of it. But take that into account, the fact that she ran away because she was so unhappy in the home. And so at this point, the police opened the investigation and kind of looked into it. But I'm summarizing a lot of things, but the way he forced her to write letters telling them, the strangest story in my mind, like, to say this, because he decided to tell them, have her write to say that she had run away to a cult and not to look for her. To me, in my head, that's a very odd thing to choose. But anyways, so he told them to write that and consecutive letters and everything, as he kept her there for years. Continuously saying, don't search for me. And in that first time where they were looking for her, after about a year, the thing was closed. Like, the investigation was closed. And although they did look into the family on the outside, he looked like the model citizen. People didn't suspect a thing. Why is that so common when it comes to these types of things? I don't know. Maybe it's the best way to cover up. I don't know. And there is a background to his life. I don't know if I'm going to go into it too much, because to me it's the victim that matters the most, and their story being told, and honestly how brave she was. And he kept her down there for the 24 years. One account that I heard was that for 2 years he just kept her there, and the other account was that she started initially sexually assaulting her. What I would guess, this is just my guess, is that it probably began maybe not right away, but most likely sooner than 2 years, because he intentionally abducted her, and that continued for 24 years. So from what I can tell, it seems like that was his intention from the beginning. Maybe he was hesitated and wasn't sure, but either way, he barely came downstairs except to give her some food. But down there, it was pretty much structured like to have like an area for the bedroom and a bathroom and all that, after he'd not handcuffed her. Because the reason why he did that, you would think, okay, maybe she could escape. No, because at this point she was locked in there with this door with, like, I believe concrete, and it was something that had a code on the outside that only he knew. So she was essentially bolted into this room. And it wasn't like there was an outlet or it was made of dirt where she could crawl up potentially. No. I cannot imagine how horrifying that would be. But yeah, he would usually come down about usually every day, or at least 3 times a week from what I know, would assault her. And this went on for 5 years until she ended up having her first child with him. Now, that is something that it's baffling to me. Initially, I was like, why did he not take precautions? Because the idea of having a child, wouldn't that make it harder to conceal? But that he did. And the saddest part to me, or one of the most cruelest parts, is that he didn't help. He gave her a book on childbirth and gave her very minimum medical supplies, and she was left to go through that alone. Not that I'm saying that he'd be a great person to hold hands with, but I'm saying the fact that he didn't care. And if you look at it from a sick point of view, it was like people can die in childbirth. So did he not care if she died? Did he just assume she wouldn't because she read the things? Or was he prepared that if she did, to abduct someone else? These are just questions that I have. And I don't mean to be disrespectful in any way by asking these questions, but I'm a very curious person. And his mindset confuses me, one of the most, in a lot. Now, I realize I'm at about 12 minutes, and I've been rambling, and I don't like to edit. So I'm going to continue this story, probably in a part 2. But I'm trying out this true crime idea, mainly going to be with things that, probably, strike my interest and confuse me. But yeah, I hope the audio is better. The lighting needs work, but tried my best. I hope you like it, and leave a comment. I don't know what likes do, but go ahead and maybe do that. I don't know, share with people. I don't know, whatever people usually say. Just hope you enjoyed, and maybe we can start a discussion about what you think this is. And I will do a part 2 to further explain what happened and the further things that happened and more of the story. And hopefully I'll be better at explaining it, but we can never know because I ramble so much. But yeah, hope you whatever. Just have a good day, night, whatever it is. Don't know where you guys are. I'll talk to you guys later. Or hopefully we'll talk in texting. Wow. I'm going to stop now before it gets worse. So, bye. Oh, God. Bye.